Imagine spending your whole life grieving for a child you lost, only for her to appear before you, alive and grown. That's the emotional storm Outlander's final season has thrown at us. In the latest trailer, one scene changes everything. A young woman with Claire's eyes and Jamie's fire steps into view, and fans are losing their minds. Could this really be Faith Fraser? The baby Claire lost back in Paris, the child we thought died in her arms, is suddenly the biggest mystery in the show's history. If this is real, then everything we know about time, loss, and love in Outlander is about to be rewritten. Outlander has always been about more than time travel. At its heart, it's a story of deep love, painful separation, and the fight to hold on to family across centuries. From the very first season, we were pulled into Claire's life, how she traveled back in time from 1945 to 1743, and how fate brought her to Jamie Fraser, the Scottish warrior who became her home. Together, they've faced battles, betrayal, and heartbreak. But among all their losses, one still cuts the deepest: Faith Fraser. Back in Season 2, Claire was pregnant while living in Paris with Jamie. The city, full of political danger and tension, was no place for peace. But the real tragedy came when Claire went into labor too early. In one of the most heartbreaking scenes in Outlander's history, she gave birth to a stillborn baby girl, Faith. The silence in that room, the pain in Claire's eyes, and Jamie's absence due to prison time, tore fans apart. That moment didn't just shape Claire's emotional journey. It created a wound that never truly healed. After losing Faith, Claire fell into deep grief. She held her daughter only briefly. Even as time passed and life moved on, Faith remained a shadow in Claire's heart. Later, she gave birth to Brianna, her second daughter with Jamie, and tried to build a new life. But the memory of Faith was never far. It was in the way Claire looked at babies, the quiet moments when her smile faded, and the way she spoke of love and loss. Jamie, too, carried the weight. Even though he never held Faith, her death changed him. He blamed himself for not being there, for not protecting Claire, and for failing as a father. This shared grief only made their bond stronger, but also reminded them of how fragile happiness can be when you live between two worlds. As the series continued, we watched Claire and Jamie build a new life in colonial America. They survived war, started a homestead, and raised Brianna and her family. But deep down, fans knew that one piece of their family was always missing. Faith was gone. Or so we believed. That's why the final season trailer hit so hard. Just a few seconds of screen time, one mysterious girl walking through the mist, and suddenly that old grief is back. Viewers who've been with the show since the beginning instantly recognized the name when rumors started flying. Faith Fraser. Could the impossible really happen? It's not just a twist for the sake of shock. If Faith truly returns, it would tie together one of the show's most emotional threads. Outlander is built on the idea that time bends for love, that destiny is not fixed. Claire and Jamie have fought through time to be together. They've lost so much. And now, there's a chance that their first child, the one taken from them too soon, might still have a story to tell. The journey through the past seasons has been a wild ride, from Parisian politics to Scottish uprisings, from shipwrecks to the American Revolution. And through it all, Claire and Jamie's bond has stood strong. Now, with the final season approaching, every tear shed for Faith feels like it's coming back with meaning. If she's alive, if time gave her back to them, then this could be Outlander's most powerful ending yet. A storm rolls over the moors. Claire stands still, eyes wide, as if she's just seen a ghost. That's exactly where the Outlander final season trailer begins, and from that moment on, everything we thought we knew begins to fall apart. The trailer doesn't waste time. It throws us into an emotional whirlwind of war, time, and destiny. But one image steals the entire spotlight. A young woman stepping out from the shadows, her face calm but hauntingly familiar. That's when the whispers start. Faith Fraser. The trailer is rich with visual symbolism. We see a war-torn land, gunpowder and fire in the background. But the camera lingers on Claire's face, not her fear, but her confusion. There's a moment when her hand touches her chest, like something inside her just cracked open. And then, the reveal. The girl with curly auburn hair, not quite a stranger, yet not someone we've ever seen grown. The same girl who was once cradled in death is now walking in life. Fans have slowed the trailer down frame by frame, and in one quick shot, we see the girl standing near Lallybrock's old ruins, staring up as if it's a place she somehow remembers. There's no spoken dialogue, no clear introduction. But the look on Jamie's face when he sees her tells us more than words ever could. Shock, awe, and a pain that's too old to name. It's not just surprise, it's recognition. There's a key moment in the trailer that everyone's talking about. Claire reaches out and touches the girl's face, her fingers shaking. She whispers something too soft to hear. But the subtitles flash one simple word: faith. It's as if time itself holds its breath. That single word changes everything. Could this really be their lost daughter? Of course, the trailer plays with mystery. Is this really Faith? Or a trick of time? Could she be from an alternate timeline? A dream or the child of someone else entirely? The Outlander universe has always flirted with the impossible. Stones that send you through time, ghosts that linger across centuries, and love stories that refuse to die. So it's not out of place for a child thought lost to somehow return. The trailer also teases new dangers. There's war, and the sense that the world around Claire and Jamie is collapsing. But this time, the danger isn't just outside. It's personal. The return of Faith, if it truly is her, could shake the very foundation of their family. Brianna is seen looking confused and distant. Roger clutches a journal with symbols connected to time travel, and Ian looks toward the woods, as if he senses something unnatural. The past and future seem to be folding into each other, and Faith might be at the center. Another detail fans caught. Faith wears a necklace. Not just any necklace, but one that looks strikingly similar to the one Claire once wore while pregnant. Is it a clue, a callback, or proof of some connection beyond logic? The trailer ends with Jamie's voice low and broken. We were never meant to forget her. The screen fades to black. Just like that, Outlander's final season sets itself up not just as an end, but a reckoning. This isn't just about history or romance anymore. This is about what it means to lose, to hope, and to face the past when it suddenly becomes your present. The trailer promises an emotional storm, one where love, grief, and the impossible collide. If Faith Fraser is back, then Outlander isn't just closing a chapter. It's rewriting its legacy. She was the daughter they mourned, the child whose name was spoken in whispers and whose memory haunted the quietest moments of Claire and Jamie's lives. Now suddenly she stands before them, alive, grown, real. Or at least, that's what the final season trailer wants us to believe. But in a show where time is a river that bends, folds, and floods, the return of Faith Fraser is more than just an emotional twist. It's a mystery that challenges the very laws of life, death, and destiny. So, who is she? And what could her presence mean? There are 3 theories fans are racing to unpack. The first is the most unbelievable, and yet, the most tempting. Faith never actually died. Could there have been a switch, a secret, or a hidden plan back in Paris? Maybe Master Raymond, who always carried an air of mysticism, intervened in some unseen way. Perhaps Faith survived, was taken, and raised elsewhere. But if so, why now? Why return just as Claire and Jamie's story is reaching its end? The second theory dives deep into Outlander's time travel lore. Faith came back through the stones. Maybe she is not the Faith we knew, but a version of her from another timeline, one where Claire never lost her. In that reality, she grew up knowing Jamie and Claire as her parents until something, fate, danger, or a calling, brought her across time to this version of history. This would explain her appearance, her age, and her strange familiarity with the Fraser lands. Then there's the third theory, the most heartbreaking of all. Faith is not real. Not in the physical sense. She could be a vision, a ghost, or a consequence of time collapsing. Outlander has always hinted at spiritual forces beneath the surface. The idea that the dead are never truly gone. Faith's return might be a message, a warning, or a final test for Claire and Jamie to face the deepest wound in their hearts before time runs out. But beyond theories, what matters most is what Faith's presence will do to the people around her. For Claire, the return of her daughter, whether real or imagined, would rip open wounds she spent decades trying to heal. Claire has always been strong, but her strength came from surviving loss. Now faced with the impossible, she may find herself questioning everything she's ever believed about medicine, science, and fate. Will she cling to hope or fear she's losing her mind? For Jamie, who never got to hold Faith, her presence may awaken a longing he buried long ago. He's lost so many loved ones. To suddenly face a daughter he never knew, especially as war looms over their heads, could break him or make him whole. And if she is truly his child, Jamie's role as a father, protector, and leader could shift in ways he never expected. And what about Brianna? Until now, she was the only living child of Claire and Jamie. Seeing another daughter, especially one tied to such deep pain, could shake her identity. Will she embrace Faith, or feel threatened by the bond that might form between her and her parents? Then there's Roger, Ian, and even young Ian's new wife, Rachel. Each may have their own reactions, but one thing is clear. This isn't just about a girl returning. It's about the Fraser family being tested like never before. If Faith is truly back, the final season isn't just wrapping up a story. It's revisiting its deepest tragedy and rewriting what family, loss, and love really mean. The return of Faith changes the stakes. It forces every character to look inward, to ask who they are when the past refuses to stay buried. And beyond the personal, it may have ripple effects across time. If Faith came through the stones or across dimensions, she may not be the only one. Her presence could signal a fracture in the timeline, a sign that something bigger is coming, something that might shake the very world Outlander has built since the beginning. So is this truly the comeback of Faith Fraser? Or is this the beginning of Outlander's most emotional goodbye? The end of Outlander isn't just the closing of a series. It's the final breath of a love story that has danced through centuries, wars, and impossible odds. But this time, the ending isn't coming quietly. The final season trailer has flipped everything upside down, and with Faith Fraser's shocking return, whether real, imagined, or something in between, the stakes have never felt more personal, more heartbreaking, or more uncertain. Fans aren't just preparing for the end. They're bracing for an emotional storm that could leave them breathless. The trailer has already triggered a tidal wave of reactions across social media. Longtime viewers who still cry when they think of Claire holding her lifeless baby in Paris are now typing through tears as they post screenshots and slow-motion breakdowns of the final trailer. Twitter threads are packed with theories. Reddit is full of scene dissections. TikTok edits show fans reacting in real time, mouths open, hands shaking, as the camera pans to the mysterious girl and the screen fades to black. One fan wrote, "If that's Faith, I'm not ready. I'll never be ready." But it's not just Faith's return that has people talking. The trailer hints at war on the horizon, bloody, brutal, and unavoidable. Jamie is shown leading men through smoky battlefields. Claire is seen tending to wounded strangers and weeping in silence. The American Revolution is no longer coming. It's here. And that means danger for everyone at Fraser's Ridge. This final season is about survival, not just from bullets, but from heartbreak. Yet the tone of the trailer feels different from past seasons. There's a quiet finality in every shot. Characters are seen staring into the distance, holding one another longer, saying things that sound suspiciously like last words. Even the music, gentle piano keys mixed with the sound of thunder, tells us this isn't just another chapter. It's the final sentence. Every decision made, every step taken, will matter. Nothing is filler. Everything is fate. So what should fans expect? First, there's no doubt we'll see Claire and Jamie face their hardest test yet. Whether Faith is really back or not, the emotional toll will be enormous. Their love has endured kidnappings, betrayals, deaths, and distances. But grief, that's a different kind of enemy. one that doesn't fight fair. Second, we'll likely see the end of Fraser's Ridge as we know it. The war will change everything. Some characters may not make it, some may be forced to leave. Outlander has always balanced beauty and tragedy, and this final season promises to lean into both. Third, and perhaps most importantly, we'll finally see threads tied from season 1 to now. Storylines left open for years, like the ghost of Jamie and Claire's time, the secrets of the stones, and the nature of destiny itself, might finally be addressed. And with Faith in the picture, these answers could come with even more emotion than we expected. The emotional weight of saying goodbye to Claire and Jamie is already heavy. Fans have followed them through births, deaths, weddings, revolutions, and heartbreaks. They've seen Claire's modern mind battle old-world beliefs. They've seen Jamie grow from warrior to father to legend. Their story has always been about love that survives the impossible. And now the impossible is knocking one last time. So how will it all end? Will Claire and Jamie find peace, or sacrifice themselves for the people they love? Will Brianna, Roger, and their children carry the Fraser name into the future? Will Faith's return bring healing, or a new kind of heartbreak? Fans are clinging to hope, but they know Outlander doesn't believe in fairy tales. It believes in truth. Painful, powerful, unforgettable truth. This final season is not just a goodbye. It's a reckoning. And no matter what the stones reveal, one thing is certain. When the credits roll on the last episode, the world will never forget the story of Claire and Jamie Fraser. Outlander was never just a show about time travel. It was a journey through heartbreak and healing, a love story too deep for one lifetime, and a constant reminder that some bonds can't be broken, even by death. As we enter the final season, the return of Faith Fraser isn't just a twist. It's a mirror held up to every tear we've shed, every joy we've felt, and every sacrifice these characters have made over 9 seasons. And now, as the story nears its end, we must ask, what does it all mean? Faith's presence brings more than emotional closure. It forces the characters, and us as viewers, to reckon with time itself. We once watched Claire scream into silence as her child was taken too soon. We saw her carry that loss like a scar across the seasons. Now, standing face to face with the grown version of the baby she lost, she must confront something even harder than grief. Hope. For Claire, who has always clung to logic, medicine, and science to ground herself, Faith's return might be the first time she truly believes in magic. Not the kind from fairy tales, but the magic of love defying time. And for Jamie, who has always followed his heart, this is a gift he never dared to ask for. He never saw his daughter take her first breath, but now he might get to hear her speak his name. This final season is about more than answers. Yes, fans want to know how Faith survived, or if she did. They want to understand what happens to Brianna and Roger, how the war will end, and whether Claire and Jamie will finally find peace. But above all, they want to feel something real. And that's what Outlander has always promised. Not happy endings, but honest ones. The show began with a woman torn between 2 timelines, 2 men, 2 lives. But it's ending with one truth. The love Claire and Jamie share is bigger than any year, battle, or death. It has created life, endured separation, and crossed centuries. And if Faith truly is back, it proves that even the cruelest tragedies can be touched by grace. The final episode won't just wrap up a plot. It will close a legacy. One that has made millions cry, hope, and believe that true love might really exist, even if it has to fight through time to survive. For years, fans have followed the Frasers through every joy and heartbreak, and now, they're being asked to follow them one last time into the unknown. As the stones hum and the past meets the future, the final image may not be of war or loss, but of a family finally whole. Claire, Jamie, Brianna, and perhaps Faith. Whether she's real or a gift from time, her presence tells us what we've always known deep down. Outlander isn't about the past. It's about finding your way home, no matter how far you've fallen or how long it takes. So when the screen fades to black and the music stops, and the credits roll for the last time, one thing will remain. The story of the Frasers will live on in every tear, every heartbeat, and every moment where love refused to let go.